I haven't started music yet. And you're not going to hear it while it's playing.
They sit by the doorway, watching the years. Grandparents waiting, hiding their tears. Your damn parents longing for faces unknown. Descendants they've dreamed of, but never have shown.
Stolen tomorrows, stolen today. Generations divided, hearts led astray.
The stories they carry, the love they still give, left behind in the shadows with so much to live.
Stolen tomorrows, stolen years. Families scattered, drowning in tears.
Who will answer? Who will say why love was forced to walk away?
Yet even though they're safer with futures to find,
we're happy for the chance that life has been kind.
Opportunities given, a brighter road ahead. Love blesses their journey, though tears still are shed.
Even though the children have gone separate ways, with different interests in different days,
we as parents feel split into pieces torn.
but we carry the weight, we must stay strong.
They planted the roots, they tended the ground.
Our branches have scattered, no kinfolk around.
The cradle is empty, the songs fade to dust,
but hope still remembers, and faith holds the trust. One day the world will understand,
no future should cost
a homeland. Bring them back, let love remain. End the sorrow, break the chain. Across the ocean, across the divide, they whisper their blessings with hearts open wide.
Though distance may steal what the future bestows,
And love is a river, yeah, that endlessly flows. Stolen tomorrows, stolen today. Generations divided, hearts led astray. The stories they carry, the love they still give, left behind in the shadows with so much to live.
Even though life has pulled us in different directions, and sometimes it feels like we're split into pieces, I want you to remember one thing. We're proud you're safe, We're glad you've got a future to chase. But don't forget, love is what ties us together.
It's stronger than distance, stronger than years. No matter where you go, you carry us with you. And that love, it never runs out.
Marvin Divine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to the program. That was music by Cathy Price. Not other than Cathy Price right there in the stream with me. Cathy, good day to you and welcome out there from the Grand Canyon State.
Hi, Colonel. At last we meet.
Indeed.
Even though it's still over screen.
But indeed, we do finally meet. You, I think, were, if not the first, one of the first to send me a song. You wrote a song about me that really struck a chord with me, and I was kind of embarrassed to play because it was very nice. Not that it was poorly done, but it was very nice, and I was a little bit shy about playing it the first time. But thank you so much for the music you've been creating. So, Cathy, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm saying that you're not 22 years of age. Your rapid adoption of artificial intelligence is quite impressive, I must say.
Thank you, Colonel.
It belies the notion that only whatever Gen is now coming up, is the only ones who are into technology. Obviously, some of us older than 22 can mess around with technology successfully.
Well, I will tell you that I'm 74 years old.
Are you serious? Oh, come
Yes.
on. You lie. You liar. You're not 74. Are you serious? You're really Wow. Okay.
Yep.
So, let's get right into it then. All right, Cathy, you're 74 years old. You came here as a singleton, did you not?
Yes.
Was that a little?
Yes, I'm a widow.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry for your loss. Was that frightening at all for you?
Coming over, yeah? No. Yes. Totally mixed feelings.
Okay. I mean, so my goodness. I mean, look. I mean, it's a hard decision for someone who's 25. But for someone who's over 70, a septuagenarian, I mean, that must have been, you must have had a real strong push to make you want to come here and leave South Africa, where you presumably you spent your life there. I don't know if you were born in South Africa or if you grew up, I mean, you have an English name, so I can only guess at what your origin is.
Yes, no, I was born in South Africa, and I grew up on a farm. But not for too long, and we went to the Johannesburg to live there, and we had lights and water, and we didn't have to carry any more buckets and stuff like that. But yes, I actually found growing up in Johannesburg was awesome. I loved it. We, as children, would walk in the streets, and we would well, obviously after it rained, we would walk in the gutters, which was quite dangerous, bare feet, and felt free. And I wanted to have that life again.
So, Cathy, just a tech issue. Can you tilt your camera down slightly because your chin's disappearing on us? Sorry.
Must I come up higher?
Yeah, come up a little bit higher. That'll do it, but that's not quite high enough. Okay. Yeah, sorry.
There you
yeah.
go.
Yes.
Yeah, because I can't see.
There you go. That'll work. If you've just raised the chair, that's going to work. Sorry about that, folks. All right. So.
Okay, no worries.
All right. So you grew up on a farm, but you have an Anglophone name. Do you have? Are you just a pure English background, or do you have a mix of something else in there? Portuguese, Afrikaner? What's going on?
No. I was born a Coertze, Coertze. That's my surname. My father was Afrikaans. My mom was English. She was a hunter. And I went to an English school because of my mom, you know, and my dad used to work on construction. So he used to be away a lot. And my mom looked after the children on the farm on her own. So she decided to go to Johannesburg. She didn't want to live on the farm without him. So yes, I'm actually tweetalig, but not as good as I should be.
All right, so you are an Afrikaner by birth. You married an Englishman.
Yes. Well, I actually married, wow, you want to hear? All right. I married a Paneno. That was my first husband when I was very young. I had 5 children. I now have 10 grandchildren.
Five children. Whoa. Okay. All right. Okay. Go on. Continue.
Okay. And I have 10 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild. And yes, I'm very blessed. Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. So, Cathy, just on that topic, are any of your other family over here or planning on coming over?
Yes, I actually came to live with my daughter. She is my US Thai.
But she was already here. She was already living in America.
She's actually applied for asylum.
Okay. All right. So she's still going through that process.
Yes, she's going through the process. She's done quite a bit of time, obviously, because now she's got her social security number and her EAU, whatever you call that, you know, and the children also have that as well. So I said to my grandson, okay, so now you better go and work.
All right. Well, that's interesting. How long have they been in the asylum process? Is this a recent or a long time?
It's she started the process last year. I can't remember now when it was. I honestly didn't keep touch. I was so involved with my refugee stuff. But she came through early last year. She started the process with Professor G.
Okay. All right. Must have been just before the refugee. Must have been just before the refugee program was announced. Then, so are you staying with them now? It was after the refugee program was announced.
Yeah, no, it was. You know, when the refugee program was announced, she thought, well, she was out of the country at the time. She thought she's not going to go back to South Africa because that would be crazy. It was a very touchy situation at the time, if you remember, you know, for people to come back and then apply for refugee. So she decided she's going to try the asylum stuff, and she did go and start that process. And I think that's helped a lot for me as well, for a place to stay now. Yeah, so she's just got to wait. As they said, you just got to wait and wait and wait and wait.
Well, it's a fascinating angle here in story, Cathy, because number one, you gave a U.S. Thai who's not a U.S. resident. It was an asylum seeker, and they sent you there. Whereas Utopi and his daughter have linked cases, and he's in San Diego and she's in Kansas. You got to wonder about this stuff sometimes, but that's fascinating because I am a U.S. citizen, and my friend who I've known for many years listed me as U.S. Thai, and then he asked to go to Florida, so they sent him to Wisconsin. So it doesn't make any sense sometimes. So I'm glad you wound up with your daughter, because obviously you have a roof over your head.
I think, Colonel, it might have to do with my age. You know, they don't want to put a 74-year-old in the middle of nowhere.
No, that's sound analysis. I would have to say that you probably hit that spot on. Wow, that's amazing. So I wish your daughter, especially since you're here, all the best success with the asylum case, and I hope it goes well for her. But if Professor G is working her case, then I'm pretty confident that she's got good representation, because he's a good attorney. Speaking of which, for the audience, Professor G will be on the program for the first time Tuesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So that'll be 10 o'clock for you, and it'll be 7 p.m. for South Africans. Professor G will be doing our first collab together. So I'm just waiting for him to send me a photograph, so I don't make a photograph that he doesn't like be the banner, and then he gets upset because he doesn't come off looking good. So we always got to make sure we do that with a guest. Yeah. So wow. All right. So Cathy, so that's one part of the family. Anybody else planning on coming over, or are they all toughing out in South Africa right now?
Well, the sad thing is my other son immigrated to Australia about 4 years ago now, him and his family. So they wanted to get out to give the children a better life, and they are very, very happy there. The children have, come out of their shells. they're able to get jobs, they're able to do things that they would not have been able to do here in South Africa. So yes, and then I've got my eldest daughter, my eldest son, who's still in South Africa. My eldest daughter doesn't wants to come, but her husband's not keen. And my eldest son, he's got 2 children in Australia, so he's in a very difficult situation. Yeah.
So where is the great grandchild at? I'm curious. There with you in Arizona or Australia?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a cutie pie. I've never met him, only on the WhatsApp. He's in North Carolina, in Raleigh.
Okay, in Raleigh.
With my granddaughter.
So,
yeah, with my granddaughter.
So your granddaughter, okay, you guys are populating America. You're all over the place. North Carolina, Arizona. Wow.
Absolutely.
So Cathy, you said you grew up on a farm, but then you lived in the Joburg area when your mom moved there. Did you spend your life in Gauteng, or did you move around the country?
No, I moved around. When I got married, I lived in South Hills, Johannesburg, and then I got divorced and married Price, which I'm now, Price, and moved down to Margate, and I lived there for 17 years. So I like the weather, and it's very similar to what I've got here, which is awesome. When I go outside, I thaw out a little bit because the houses are air conditioned, so I put on socks and walk around with socks.
Yeah, no. In Arizona, the air con blows 24/7 because the moment it doesn't, you start sweltering. But I get it. You want to walk outside to warm up. That makes sense. I get it. So Margate, well, that was tough duty. That's not exactly a bad spot to live.
Yes, no, that was also, we had a little a shop. It was a souvenir shop. We had that for 17 years. And then my second husband passed away. He had cancer and actually Parkinson's. So it was a combination of stuff. So, but he's gone now 23 years. So, yeah.
All right. Now, Cathy, you mentioned 5 kids in the first marriage. Is that where you stopped, or did you continue with the second marriage? You have more kids?
No more kids.
All right, just asking for a friend here, So just curious. All right, so when did you first hear about the program? When President Trump announced on the 7th of February, how soon after did you hear about it?
Well, I was so excited because I was watching your program since about December before that. Okay. December, I was watching your program. I didn't like watching news. I don't like news and stuff. And then my son from Australia said to me, Mom, you have to listen to this colonel. He's awesome. He knows what he's talking about. So I said, but I can't find him. I don't know where he is. He says, no, he's the guy with the white beard. I said, oh, okay. So I started watching you. And I didn't really like news, but anyway, I kept watching you. And then all of a sudden, this announcement came in February with President Trump. And I thought, wow, that's an opportunity. Wow. Because I came to America 32 years ago. I came because my husband and I actually wanted to leave the country at that time, because we saw writing on the wall and we decided that's going to be good. Then a friend took us to Wisconsin and we looked at a business to buy and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he got ill, my husband, he had the cancer, and we couldn't afford to look after him there. So we couldn't immigrate, and we decided to come back to South Africa. But I did go back to study. I went to do a short paralegal course. I just started it, and that was awesome. I felt like a schoolgirl again. I was about 40 at the time. Anyway, so yes, it was nice. But then I struggled with maths. Hey, wow! I mean, I was good at maths at school. But when I went to college, I had to go for extra lessons because I couldn't make head or tail what was going on. And even today now, I would not even go into it anymore.
Well, that's amazing. There's a couple questions here about your shop. Let me find the first one because it slipped away from me here. And then there's a second one, which is more specific. I think the first one says, wow, was it the shell shop? Somebody said something like that. Oh, my word. Was it the shell shop on the main road? Was that your shop in Margate?
Yes, it was Coral Reef. That was the shop next
Uh,
to the movie house. Yeah.
okay, and then I think someone actually, there was someone says, "Were you the owner of Natalie's in Ramsgate?" I don't think that was it.
Oh no, no, no,
Okay.
no, no.
All right. So the first person got it right. They found the place. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. So it's, South Africa is like Botswana. It's a small town country. What I mean by that is if you know someone, you know someone, you know someone, next thing you know the president of the country. That's just how easy it is from degrees of
Yeah,
separation. Pretty crazy.
yeah.
So, for instance, Lawrence McDonald, the ANC MP who resigned last year, for 2 years ago from Parliament, I've actually been in touch with him the whole time. I didn't realize. I mean, his name didn't register in my head even because we've been chatting in WhatsApp, and he's like, "No, Chris, I'll do the interview." So we got him on tomorrow, but I'll be interviewing him offline. So anyway, so people can't say nasty things; they can say it on the stream afterwards, on that post a video. But it is a small town world. That is South Africa, small town country. All right, so your family's all over the place. You've come over. When did you arrive?
I arrived on Tuesday, the 21st.
Of April.
And yeah, Colonel, you know what is awesome is that on my birthday, which is the 13th of April, I got the invitation to the cultural orientation, and that's the day I saw that they sent me all the information, the paperwork, and that, and I thought, nice birthday gift. And my daughter phoned me and she says, "Mum, the daughter that lives here in Arizona, because she's dealing with the replacement agency. They are contacting her and getting all the information from her. So she phones me and she says to me, 'Are you sitting down?' I said, 'No, I'm lying down, got the computer on my lap and I'm watching Colonel.' She says, 'Okay, so now you're going to fly on Monday the 20th. I said, 'You lie.' She said, 'Yes.' And she said, 'Atlanta.' I said, 'Oh, you're kidding me.' That's awesome. Delta, right through to 16 hours flight, Mom. I said, 'It's okay. It's okay.' Oh, I was so excited.
Well, Cathy, I got to say, you're like a schoolgirl. You are incredibly excited and happy. It's amazing to see. It's fantastic. I'm glad it's going well for you there. Helena of Troy says that we lived in Margate. I know that shop. Wow.
Yeah, it was a cute little shop.
Is it gone now?
Yeah.
Did you sell it or did somebody take over?
Yes. No, we actually sold it to someone else and they turned it into an ice cream shop.
Oh, okay. So the souvenir shop is gone.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the shop in Stellenbosch that I went to. It was owned by a German lady, or not, well, she's Afrikaans, but her grandfather's Röntgen, the German who discovered the X-rays. And then she grew up as an Afrikaner because her grandfather, I guess, moved to South Africa, or one of his kids did. Anyway, she had a shop in Stellenbosch when I was there in 2000. But the first chance I got to go back to look for it was in 2022, and it wasn't there anymore. It was kind of, but that was amazing because I walked in the shop and I had conversations in German because she grew up speaking German, even though she's an Afrikaner. So it sounds like you're having a great new life there. All right, so that's when you found out about the program. Did you do the PRM email, the statement of interest, and or the intake questionnaire?
Yes, all three. So we, with all this teething problems, the new people who are coming in have to just go to the 4th of November intake questionnaire, which is so nice for them because they don't have to worry about it. But the only thing is the waiting, and they don't send you any replies. And you think, oh my gosh, what's going on now? Did I fill it incorrectly? All these things go through your head, and it's and eventually at the end of the day, I gave it to God, and I said, God, you take it because I can't do this anymore. And I left it. I honestly felt that I left it, and within days, I got a phone call from Kenya, and they asked me, "Oh, okay, are you still interested in the program?" And I said, yes. They said, okay, is anybody else coming with you? So I said, no. So she said, okay, can you leave next week? Now, this is when she phoned me in the beginning of December, after I've done the 4th of November stuff. So in December, she says, can you leave next week? And I thought, oh, sure. Yes, if I have to, yes. And she said, where can you go to the interview, in Pretoria or Johannesburg? So I said, it doesn't really matter. So I thought, oh, okay, I prefer not to go to Johannesburg. I'll go to Pretoria. But anyway, so then I did, she said, you'll get an email to tell you where to go and blah, blah. So, oh, yeah, it was in Johannesburg. And I thought, fantastic. Okay, much closer though. So that was awesome. Sorry, I'm rambling along without you asking. Is it okay? Okay, cool. So now, what I did is, I went for the interview, and then they let me know there that I've got a medical appointment the next day. And I thought, okay, where's that? So they'll send me the email to give me the address, and that's fine. So yeah, you are panicking all the time because you think you missed the email, or maybe you went to junk mail. So you go and look at your junk mail, you're going to have a look at all that. So I went to the medical eventually. Then the x-rays were done, and they found little scar tissues on my lungs. So I had to go for TB, the sputum test. That was a mission. It was like a pain in the neck because you had to go there and you spit in this thing for 2 seconds and you got to go home. And the next day you got to come back and do the same thing. And then you got to wait 8 weeks for the results, which is over Christmas and New Year. And it worked out perfect, actually. It really worked out perfect. So, yes, so now we've got this sputum test come back. I actually emailed the clinic and said to them, did they get the results back? And they said they got them back, but they sent them to the US Embassy. So I said, oh, okay. So I didn't know what the results were. And then it must have been about a week later, I got, what did I get now? Now I can't even remember what I got. Okay. Then I got another phone call. Oh my goodness. Sorry. All these.
It's quite all right. Listen, I'm watching the chat, and look, I think that the United States, President Trump's program apparently is single-handedly responsible for depopulating Margate. All these people say they're from Margate over here. It's like shocking. You probably know many of these people. It's insane. People talking about where they lived, and all the shops closing, all the good people have left. I guess they've all come to America, or they're trying to come to America. People know that shop. Graybeard says, I also know the shop. We had an apartment in Grenada Flats behind Wimpy. Lovely shop. Grenada, sorry.
Us.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's and then Helena says, yes, we were in the purple block of Marine Drive. That's where she lived at. This is crazy. I mean, it's like your extended family from Margate. That's pretty wild. So, well, sorry we've depopulated Margate, but it's not our fault. But so, it's fine. You're like worried about going on, but people are here to hear what your story is. And so sometimes my interviews, I have to keep asking questions because people give me one-word answers or one-sentence answers. But you're doing a great job so far, Cathy, of explaining things. So, yeah, somebody said South Coast is finished. Well, that's a shame, Snippets. But anyway, so you did this test. You just talked about something that a lot of people are frustrated with, and that is, I got to be honest with you. I mean, as South Africans say, if I'm honest, what else would I be, Cathy, but honest, right? If I'm honest, if I had to go through this process, I suspect I'd have to do a sputum test too. Not because I have any reaction to TB, because I don't. I'm negative for that. But I've got lung scarring from breathing in that crap from those burning oil wells in Kuwait. Yeah. So on an x-ray, I probably have lung scarring too. So they probably assume it's from TB or something like that, but it's not. So, I mean, that had to be very nerve-wracking and annoying to go back. But at least you didn't have that far to travel. Not like somebody from PE would have to go all the way up there.
Yes, no, I'm very blessed, actually. And I really feel sorry for the people that have to travel so far all the time. And, my heart goes out to Charles. I really feel so sad.
Are you talking about Charles Van Onselen, the voice of reason?
Yes, Charles. Yeah, yes. I really feel sorry for him and his family, man. Jeez, anyway, it's the way it is. It's supposed the reason. It's everything happens for a reason, and I do believe that. But the annoying thing now is that when I came. And now I'm in Arizona, and I got mail, and now I've got to go for another TB test, and that confuses me because why must I go for another TB test when I just had one done?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. But there are follow-up things, but that's not something you would think would be a follow-up for. So I'm puzzled by that as well. because they obviously determine you don't have it. I mean, they're not going to send you back. I mean, the only reason to do it is if it was, maybe it's been long enough that they're concerned it's reactivated. See, that's the problem. I don't know if they determine if you've ever been exposed to TB, because if you've been exposed to TB, that virus is in you and it stays latent, and then it can be activated. So I don't know, maybe it's for that. But as far as you know, you've never been exposed to TB, have you?
No, well, not that I know of, no. But, the thing is, I did have pneumonia in 1997, and I think that could have affected the lung, because
that's what it is.
Reasoning.
Pneumonia will do that. That's exactly what I'm sure. That's what it was. Yep, that's what it was. Yep. All right. Well, but that's so obviously because there's a few other people very frustrated by this, having a hard time with this sputum test, and I understand where they're coming from. But again, people have to understand that the first mission of these people screening isn't to get you here. It's to ensure that people that come here are not a danger to this country.
Safe.
Right.
Yes.
They're safe medically, and also, as a human being, you're not a genocideer or, a violent criminal. So those are their first missions. They don't always succeed. Some of those people slip in occasionally, but that's their mission first. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. But anyway, so Cathy, let's move on from that. I don't want to talk about sputum test. That sounds yucky. Let's move on from that. All right, so let's go on to another topic here. You've arrived. I want to ask you questions about Social Security number, EAD, greeted at the airport. What kind of case officer you to have? Is it going well? And how do you feel about your arrival thus far? Because it's approaching now, 3 weeks or so?
Hey, I've only been here 11 days. So now, okay, I've been here 11 days. But now, first of all, when we went to the airport and for the 17-hour flight, I took some of your advice on one of the programs where if you can't walk too far with your bags and that, get a wheelchair, which I did. I took advantage of it because I do find that when I'm in big open spaces, I get dizzy and I'm not able to really stabilize myself without having to hold the wall, So, and then I pictured, because I've been to America before, so I know how big these airports are. They're huge. So I thought, okay, I said to them when I did the cultural orientation, I said to you, can you please book a wheelchair for me, because I do struggle, so they said, yes, it's all been organized, which she did after the meeting. I stayed behind and she organized the wheelchair for me. And I promise you it was heaven on earth, because I didn't have to go through all and stand in the long queues and go through customs. They just wheeled me through. And everybody did everything for me. And it was like, wow, thank you, Lord. And then when I got to getting into the plane, the airline, a stewardess or something, she said, are you with other people? I said, no, I'm by myself. She said, oh, okay, they put you in the middle of somebody else. And being in a wheelchair is not easy to get out, to go to the loo and all that stuff. And I thought, okay. So she changed my seat. And I have to tell you this because you're going to be jealous. They put me, where the doors, not Jared. Jared was very privileged. Okay. So but there are the doors on the sides. And in the middle, you've got this panel in front of you. Okay. So and you could stretch your legs. And okay, I've got short legs, but I could stretch my legs and I could get up right there on the aisle and go to the loo quite quickly and stuff like that. And I thought, and then the lady that I sat next to was going to Canada. And she says, I said to her, isn't this awesome? I am given this chance by the president of America. And I've got the best seat in the house. What more can you ask for?
Well, that's a good point, and that's a very compelling and fascinating story, Cathy. But I am curious about the question I actually asked. Social Security, did they greet you at the airport? And EAD. Okay. Can we get to that?
Okay. Social Security, I'm going on Thursday for my Social Security. I do have another one that I had 30 years ago, Okay.
Well, that,
and I told
what they're going to do is that number never goes away. They're going to reactivate that. It's dormant. That's what'll happen at your meeting. Okay.
Oh, perfect. Yes. So I thought I'll just tell you, because I did see on the stream the other day somebody asked a question about it. But that one said I wasn't valid to work, because I just went to college at the time, so I wasn't allowed to work.
I understand, but the point is that the number itself is only issued one time to one person,
Yes.
and it's the lifetime thing. So
Yeah.
what they'll have to do is change the status of that now, to say you're eligible to work, and activate.
Yes.
Yep.
So I'll be going there. The lady, she's from IRC, Ilana. She's awesome. I tell you what a beautiful person. So helpful. She is on to us all the time, to my daughter and myself. She's liaising between my daughter and myself, and she's going to meet us there on Thursday with the SNM. And then there's another thing she said. No, I better answer your questions. What else did you say?
That's okay. Did they greet you at the airport when you arrived? Were they waiting for you?
Oh, yes, I forgot that part. Yes, of course. That's what I'm telling you. The wheelchair, they greeted me there. And I had to have this little red tag here to show who I am or what I am.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was in Atlanta. That wasn't Atlanta. That was actually in Phoenix when you arrived.
Oh, Phoenix. No, Phoenix, my daughter came to fetch me.
Okay, because she's your U.S. tie, so she came to collect you.
Yes, she came. She did. She said she'll come and fetch me anyway. So that was awesome. Yeah.
Okay, well, I was just trying to find out if we need to get your daughter fired, but now we know that she showed up like she's supposed to. All right. Okay, so you don't, the EAD, we haven't, I don't know if you have that yet. And then,
No.
But what's your feeling so far, 11 days in? Do you feel you're getting the help that you should get from the refugee agency?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I honestly am very, very lucky to have come here to Arizona. And I know there's so many places. It's Phoenix, and then it's these little towns in Phoenix. And phew, that I've got to get around my head. But yes, I think, she's just a phone call away. And she answers every time we phone, and she only works 3 days a week. So even on her off day, she said to me, she answered the phone on Tuesday. She said, because I arrived on Tuesday. She doesn't work on a Tuesday, but she did. She answered the phone, and she helped. Yes, she's very, very helpful. And they came and gave me some pocket money, a little card with some dollars on it. And just giving me the process of what I've got to do, where I've got to go. It's like a real whirlwind.
Well, Cathy, it's a bit of a blessing that your daughter is there in many respects. Number one, your $2,000 is going to go much further because you're not paying rent. You didn't have to pay a deposit. No one's buying furniture on your behalf. That money can be just used for your needs. That's awesome. I mean, it'd be great if everybody had a U.S. connection, but it doesn't always work out that way. Those who have large families are in a better situation because they get $2,000 per head. So if you got 6 kids, that's $12,000 plus 2 parents, another $4,000. But just one, it's just yourself. You start out with that $2,000. But it sounds like you're in good shape there because you're living with family, and so you save a lot on expenses.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, I don't think everybody will be in the same position, obviously, but the support we have. Oh, we did go to sort of like a garden concert as well. And that I met quite a few people there, and very friendly, very helpful. If you need anything, just call, But yes, I haven't been out to shops and stuff like that because I don't like going to shops. I've never been like that, so my daughter accepts that I don't go shopping with her. I get my food obviously from her. We the what do you call it? The RC RC people.
Okay.
Yeah, they actually going to pay her towards some rent and food. So all my needs are being cared for.
Okay, but you are living with your daughter, correct?
Yes, I am. I've got a bedroom for myself. Yes.
And she has kids?
She's got 2 children, yeah.
And are the kids excited to see Granny?
Absolutely. It only lasted 2 days, and then they went back to
Yeah.
what they did.
Exactly. The excitement wore off after 2 days. So,
Actually, maybe not even 2 days.
oh, wow. Okay. Well, I mean, look, the thing about grandparents is that, of course, they're famous for spoiling their
Yeah,
kids'
absolutely.
kids. That may not be as easy if you're living in the same place. It's easy to spoil them when you got your own place. They come over, you spoil them, you send them home with
Yeah.
chocolate all over their face. Their parents get angry. Are you able
Yeah.
to spoil your grandkids there or no?
No, they're old enough, to do their own thing. I do communicate better with them now that they're older, because when they were in South Africa, they were little, and now they're older and more sort of, how can you say, more mature and able to handle themselves. So it's like adult conversation now,
Oh, okay.
And,
Okay.
yeah,
They're not
excuse me.
they're
And
not the
the-
little ones. Okay. I thought they were small.
Yes, no. The youngest one is 10 years old,
Okay.
and the other one is 15. She's going on 16. She's going to. She went for driving lessons yesterday. Got a driver's license. Yeah. Oh, and I must tell you this. Yeah, she's taking a course on acting.
Oh.
So yeah, and I thought about John. John from Denver. One of because he wanted to go into acting and that, and I thought, well, one day maybe he can find out. Obviously, there's a lot of acting agencies around, and she's also wanting to do babysitting and dog walking and stuff like that. And she had to go and get a CPR certificate for babysitting, stuff like that. So yeah, she'll be earning her own money soon.
No, that's awesome. That's a very, very American thing for teenage kids to do, especially girls, is babysitting. The dog walking is a more recent phenomenon, but babysitting goes back to even when we were kids. That was a big thing for teens to do,
Yeah.
make money. Summer jobs are also a big deal. But I mean, a 16-year-old girl getting a driver's license, I've never understood why girls get cheaper insurance, because they're just as erratic as boys, but apparently the insurance companies don't think so. But that's just my anecdotal observation. So what has been the most surprising thing since your arrival? It's only been 11 days, but what's surprised you the most about coming to America? You've been here before on a visit, but now coming back all these years later, what's the most surprising thing for you so far?
Surprising. That I don't see. Oh, no. Surprising. No.
I stumped you. I wasn't even trying to stump you. Oh, come on.
No, man. No, it's nothing. It's nothing. Nothing.
So nothing's really surprised you. It's kind of what you expected. Has there been any frustration other than obviously the sputum test and waiting such a long time? Has there been any frustration?
What, the past or the present?
Well, I mean the whole process since President Trump
Oh, the
announced
whole
this. You heard
process.
about it, yeah.
Yeah, no. I think the most frustrating part is if you talk about becoming a refugee or wanting to go over to America, and the negativity in our own country, that people they wear blinkers, and that saddens me, but there's nothing you can do about it, because those people are always like that. I think even before all this happened, they are just negative people that, and so, what, Colonel, is that you love your country. We all love our country. Everybody, when you're born in a country, I'm sure you love your country because that's all you knew or know. But to have to leave it should be okay, because you know what, you're all going to die anyway, and you can't take your country with you, and you can't take your furniture and your car and your beautiful dresses and whatever with you. You're going to die with nothing. So what's the point? You may as well go and explore and see another beautiful country and, go to safety. Yes, you can walk around with, I've got this little doggy, and I take it for walks, and I can walk without having anybody to worry somebody's going to grab him or it and take my phone or something like that, because I walk around with my camera, and I've always got to watch my camera, And every time I used to take photos anywhere in South Africa, I'd always get a remark as, you got a nice camera. And I'm thinking, okay, I better hide this camera away.
Well, I gotta say that you hit that spot on. I think people lose sight of the fact that we all enter this world, and sadly, we've not proven that there's another way. We all exit this world at some stage, and to get wrapped around the axle about certain things that really don't matter to your human experience on this planet. So no, I think that's well said on your part. It's fascinating. Jason, who's in Erie, says, sadly, those wearing the blinkers need to come to their own realization. There's no hope in South Africa. It will be too late then. Well, I hope that's not true, but I have a feeling you are correct, Jason. But I hope it's not true. And Charles, your buddy Charles Van Olsen says, the country I love no longer exists thanks to the ANC. I think that's a fair statement, too. Now, Charles did have a question for you, Cathy, your buddy there, Charles, the voice of reason on this channel. Charles wants to know what changed since the last time you visited America. It's been a while, over 30 years. I mean, what's different, or is it all still kind of the same, except we have newer cars and new coats of paint?
Well, yes, actually, I had really noticed because I flew in from South Africa to Atlanta airport, and from that airport to Arizona airport and to my house. So, I can't say, because previously I lived in Jacksonville, Florida, and I loved it there as well because it was also warm weather there, and the people there I liked very much, and I went dancing there, and I got a car there, and all kinds of things in a little while I was there. But I can't tell, Charles, what's different, because I've always felt good and always wanted to come back and live here, and I could never afford to do that. I could never, my kids couldn't afford to come. Well, I suppose the one chose. As the music said this morning, as you read it, I played it just now, was that we all split.
Well, that's got to be a tough one for you, Cathy. I mean, that's difficult. Family all over the planet there. I understand that. I appreciate it. But there's a lovely song that you put together there. I think people really appreciate it. You're going to get me emotional. I'm an emotional person here. So but I understand that. And that's what somebody said earlier in the chat. They said it's so sad because of the ANC that South Africans' families have to be split all over the world to Ireland, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, the US, Vietnam, China. It's really, really sad to see that. But let me get away from that for a second so that we both don't get all teary-eyed here. Caldonis is asking a question, and it's a fair question, but I mean, because they can't stop you from it. Are you considering working, or have you looked at work? Is it something you're going to consider, or are you just going to relax at home? What's the plan?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. That's what the Americans say. That's a good question. Okay. Yes. Now, I felt if my daughter didn't need me to help her with the children, I would go and find something to do. And I wouldn't mind because I do accounting work. So I enjoy books. I'm not really a packer or something, but if I have to do that, I would do it. There are places where they've got little signs on their windows to say help wanted. So you can, yes, I would do it if I have to. But at this stage, I'm looking to help my daughter because she travels. She eventually got a job after about 137 resumes she sent out. She's now eventually got a job and she's very excited, but she needs to move around. She has to be away from home for a while and somebody has to keep an eye on grandma, I suppose,
Well, listen, I'm not laughing at your comment, although it's entertaining. I'm laughing at the chat because Carl said that, and this is meant as a compliment, this Tani is more a spring chicken than Ronaldo. And so I followed up by saying, and you have better hair than Ronaldo. Charles said that.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Delia Bielefeld, but she is pending asylum. Yes, under the law, an asylum seeker who arrives in America and requests asylum by law. Under the law, I'm not saying what happens in practice, but under the law, an asylum seeker arrives here is prohibited from working in the U.S. for 150 days. At the 150-day point, they can request approval to work, and then it can be granted after 6 months. And so it's been over a year for her. So I mean, she could send out resumes while she's in that hold, but she legally wouldn't be allowed to be employed until after that. But we're past that date, so she can work. Correct, Cathy?
Yes. She's also done her. Now in South Africa, we call it the estate agents certificate.
Real estate agent certification.
Yes. She does the real estate. She's done that, so she's got that certificate, so she can work at that as well. So I think that she's helping a friend out because her friend is in Belize, and she's helping her sell her properties this side. So at least she's got a little bit of help. I don't know about, but she has got a permit. She has got her social security number. She's got that, and she's got her, as I said, the valid for employment, so she can work. Yeah.
So let me, for help Delia out here, she and her husband are the ones who were chased by thugs down the road. They went to police station where they were abused a couple years ago. So she says, why can't we just come? We are so desperate. Delia, I'll tell you why you can't just come, because under the law, when someone arrives at a port of entry, an airport or a seaport, and they walk up to an immigration official and say, I'm here to declare asylum, you must by law be put in detention, prison, until your case comes before an asylum judge. Now, the gentleman, Schoonhoff or whatever, Schoonmacher, whatever his name was, who came here last August and thought he was clever 5 months after the refugee program began, showed up in Atlanta because his friend told him to come. He says, I'm here to declare asylum. It's a new regime. It isn't the Biden regime that let 12 million illegal aliens come into this country. Many of them fake asylum seekers said, oh, just come in. We'll give you a court date. Come back to court. No, those 12 million people should have been put in prison. They weren't. Now, they don't call it prison, they call it detention, but trust me, it's not. It's not a hotel. That gentleman, last I heard, was still in detention since August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Now, this will be almost 10 months he spent in detention without a hearing, waiting for an immigration judge because so many millions were let in this country who were still going through the backlog. So you take a risk of that happening. I believe, I don't know the answer on her daughter's case, but they were already here and they weigh their options. Should they go back or should they, and they decided that they would try asylum. That's different. Once you're in the country legally here, if you then at some point in the future to make a decision to declare asylum, you aren't put in detention because you're already here. The reason for the detention is to dissuade fake asylum seekers. But the Biden regime destroyed that entire process and upset the entire notion of asylum and ruined it for everyone else. So it's also a very difficult, and Cathy knows this, I've talked about it. When I looked at the figures over a 2-year period, there were 11 South Africans who were granted asylum and 95 who were denied asylum. It's rare to get it. However, we don't know the outcome now because these cases really aren't coming up in large numbers. Only one that we're aware of has come up recently for a South African. And with Trump in office now, it might be different for Cathy's daughter because of the situation. We just don't know. You're taking a huge gamble. And if you're deported, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. But my advice, if you're asking for my advice, is stay with this process. As long as you've done the intake questionnaire, you're going to get contacted. The issues that existed before the intake questionnaire. So as long as you've done it, you're going to be contacted. I know it's long. I know. It's not easy. But Delia, you can do what you want to do. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just offering what I think is the most sound advice. Sorry about it, Cathy, but Delia, she's at the end of her rope, and I appreciate that. So is Chris Ehlers. Chris Ehlers at the end of his rope. Chisigi's at the end of her rope. So many people are so frustrated. It's very difficult for that. Yes, Delia, and the fact that I haven't responded doesn't mean I haven't taken any action that I can do. I have to be very circumspect about what I do. That's why when people attack me and say I've never done anything, they're full of it. I've done things for people and they don't know about it because I can't disclose it. I don't understand how people, not you, Delia, but I understand how people don't understand that I was an intelligence officer, and there's a reason I was an intelligence officer. Not just because I'm smart and witty. That didn't count. Witty doesn't matter, but smart. But also because I can maintain a confidence, okay? And so confidences must be maintained. Sorry about that, Cathy, but I thought it was an important deviation based on the question about your daughter. So
that's very good.
Yeah, so it's good for everyone to hear that. So Anyway, so yes, those people are foolish, Delia. But I mean, what are we going to do? We can't control other people's mouths. We can try, but we can't. So, Cathy, let's see. What are you doing with your time now? I mean, I know you're getting settled in. It's only been a week and a half, but I mean, what are you looking forward to? Are you going to go see the Grand Canyon? I haven't been there for ages.
Well, I guess you have to have money to do all those things.
Well, yeah, petrol is $5 a gallon, so you need a little bit of money for that.
Yeah. But I do photography. I like that. I do it as a hobby, and I love birds. So I've got some awesome photos of these little woodpeckers that are in this tree down the road. Yeah. So I'll go there every single day to look and see what's happening. They're busy building their nest now and stuff like that. And obviously I see there's around about, I think, 15 different species already that I've seen birds just in our garden. Well, and I take the dog for a walk. It's one of my pleasures because I need to get exercise and I can walk quite safely. I enjoy that. But, I can sit for 5 hours just watching a bird. And I do read. And, and then it's just being here for the children when mom's gone and busy doing something else, So at least I'm fine with that. I mean, that's what I've been doing for the past maybe few years now that I've retired.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. I guess some people that are into bird watching, birders is one of the nicknames. Some people don't like that term. I don't know why, but I mean, so ornithologist, isn't that the right term? An ornithologist for bird watching?
No. That's boring for me. I just go and take photos of birds and people, but I've got to be careful who I take photos of, obviously. And there's some awesome dogs around here that people take their dogs for a walk. So, but I just love taking photos and, as you saw from the videos that I do, I put the music to the videos, and now I can at least. Oh, thank you, Colonel, for that. By the way,
What's
Suno.
That? Oh yeah,
for the Suno introduction, and my friend Vanessa.
To be fair, Ronaldo mentioned it to me months prior, and like many things, Ronaldo I thought he was eating edibles, so I didn't really pay much attention to it. Yeah, but I later someone else turned me on to it. Yeah, so no, it's great. It's a lot of fun. What I like though is how I can actually make credible Afrikaans songs in it. I'm an American. It's pretty amazing.
Absolutely super duper. Yes, and that's how when I met Vanessa at the Oppie Plaas Pretoria, we now become buddies, and she was my go-to lady now. I have to be her go-to lady to encourage her because she's still behind and I've already come, and I never ever thought I would be able to go. And can I tell you something?
Sure.
Colonel, being a pensioner, I'm a pensioner, actually a government pensioner. And in the interview, I said, I've got to tell these people that I'm a SASSA pensioner because I won't feel happy not telling them, and then they can accept me as I am, because I thought I was too old to apply for the program, but that's how. And you encouraged us all the time. You said, from what age did you start at? 6.
I said 8 to 88.
There we go. So, and I thought, you can apply even, and I can still work if I wanted to, if I needed to. And I did tell them that I was getting a pension, and it was like and now they can accept me or not, and if they don't accept me, well, then I'm not meant to be, meant to come.
Well, look, Cathy, while it's impressive that you've come over here as a singleton and what you're doing, you're not exactly the oldest South African. I think Lili's grandmother is 89. Her Oma came over. That's crazy.
But she didn't come on her own, did she?
She came to be with Lili's family. I don't know if she came. Yeah, but no. But
yes.
I'm saying, as far as age, she's got you by a decade and a half.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
That really is cool. That's amazing stuff. I mean, that's huge. I mean, for you and for her, taking this change. Look, I've lived in 16 countries and I've been to over 80 countries. I think the total is now. And at this stage in life, I was going to move overseas before the COVID scam. But I'd have to think really long and hard about just picking up and relocating anywhere, for any reason, let alone because I'm under pressure. It's just you get to a certain point in life and you're like, well, you know what? I can still see the world, but I can see it from here and travel from here. So that's pretty amazing that you've done it. What's been the most exciting part of all this for you so far, other than getting to see your daughter and your grandkids in person again?
Is that I have the chance to start again feeling free and feeling that I can walk around and feel that I'm actually a human being, and where I'm living is okay. I'm not closed up in a closet.
Now, with your Cathy, with your South African English accent, which makes you sound, I'm sorry, but you sound like an English Tani. I know that you're not from Connor, but do people in Phoenix? But do the people in Phoenix ask if you're from England or the UK?
I have not met. Oh, yes, no, they did say, oh, you came from South Africa. When did you come? Yesterday. Oh, wow. I flew 22 hours. So they thought, oh, it was so great that I flew 22 hours to come and see them. But yes, no, we didn't talk much. We were listening to the music. And there's this musician. Am I allowed to say his name?
Sure, you can say it.
His name is Mike Nash. And he is awesome. He's got such a good voice. And he just entertained the people in the garden. And we were all sitting around. Apparently, it's the in thing at the moment that people are going to these garden concerts to watch these musicians play and sing and entertain. And everybody obviously brings their own eats and stuff like that. But I didn't talk to many people, but a few people, yes. But we didn't have much to say because the show was going to start. And I've been trying to get hold of the Phoenix people through our agent, and she said she will let them know and give them my number and see if they're interested in us getting together and stuff, because apparently there is somebody at this music thing said that there is a South African group that have a braai every month or something like that. They get together. So he said he'll send us the details. So we'll find out from them.
Well, that's amazing. Karen, whose cats wake her up every morning at about 4 o'clock.
Yes.
She said that, yeah, you know Karen is. When I moved into my granny flat, I heard a knock on the door, shouted, "Coming!" Turned out it was a red-crested barbet. Amazingly, saw a kingfisher.
Oh,
yeah, she saw a kingfisher in suburbia. Eagles eyeing my cats, hawks. Yeah, and Hadida. So you got to keep those birds away from your cats. So, Cathy, you mentioned earlier something about a dog. Do you have a dog already, or did you get a dog shipped over here?
No. My daughter's got a dog. She's got the little. It's called a Shih Tzu or something like that. One of these tiny little ones, fluffy little. And it's actually for an emotional support for them. Yeah. Because my daughter actually, no, it's fine. So they've got this little dog.
Jean Myers asked, what happens if you fall ill? You go to a clinic or a hospital if you fall ill. Jay Langton came over here. She wound up having cancer. I think it was cervical cancer, and she got treatment for it. She's under Medicaid because she came with a family, and they're paying for it. We've had Willem Hotzenberg had a serious condition. I think it was Lou Gehrig's disease, if I'm not mistaken. He told people that's been treated. His medication, interferon or whatever, is going very well. We've had several South Africans who've had serious medical issues and even some dental issues, and you get treatment and care for it. So that's what happens if you fall ill. That's how it works. You're not a tourist on vacation relying on your medical insurance from back home. You're covered here either through refugee medical assistance or through Medicaid, although there's some confusion about that. We're not going to get into that right now. But no clinic or hospital on the planet in this country is legally allowed to deny you care in an emergency room. If you go to an emergency room and you're ill, they must treat you. It's as simple as that. So anyway, Cathy, any regrets about applying for the program?
No. Just every now and again when I was waiting for so long and, before the 4th of November, before we filled in the intake questionnaire, I actually thought, you know what, I don't know if it's going to be, it'll be, but like I said to you earlier, I gave it to God. And, you know, the weirdest thing is when I got the call from Kenya, I nearly wet myself. It was so exciting because it was like, luckily you told us, you know, to look at these numbers that, you know, because there was so much fraud going on, scams going on. And when I saw this number, and I thought, wow, okay, Kenya, hello, you know, it was like, and she asked me a whole lot of questions. And the funniest thing, she asked me my children's names. You know how, obviously, we sat long to tell them all the children's names and surnames and birth dates and all that stuff. And then my poor old daughter, who's married, I gave them her maiden name. And I thought, oh, God, I gave them the wrong name.
You messed it up.
I messed up. I'm going to tell them because they're going to think I made them. And, you know, anyway, they did phone me back later the afternoon and they queried something. And I said, oh, by the way.
I put the wrong name down for my daughter. That's actually not her name anymore. Wow.
She got married. Yeah, so that was quite exciting and nerve-wracking. And then when they eventually, after talking to you guys on the viewers, getting to know everybody, and it was so nice because we became a family. All of us became a family, excepting for the trolls. Anyway, so now we've got all these friends and family, and you hear them, and they're getting frustrated. I was frustrated once, and poor old James, I don't know, James, what his surname was, and he said, hang in there, you know, and I thought, wow, thank you. I really need that because you feel like, you know, they're not going to take me. I'm too old. I want to go and eat some worms. You know?
Jeez, no, that's not good. So Cool Beans says, why was it fast? Because it wasn't fast, Cool Beans. She did the PRM email. She did the statement of interest. She did the intake questionnaire. It was over a year.
February.
Yeah, it was 14, almost 15 months before she got here. So I try and explain to people, this is normally an 18-month or longer process. It isn't 3 months or 6 weeks. Don't listen to all the BS in the groups. Stay away from the groups. They're toxic. People lie. Look at the crap they say about me. Pure poppycock. There's people lying in there. It isn't fast. She waited almost 15. My friend who is in the proof of concept just arrived a couple days ago. He just arrived a couple days ago. He's finally here. He got here on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. And he was in the 100 that flew up to Pretoria to do the initial proof of concept and never got contacted. You got contacted in December. He didn't take question. He didn't get contacted until February 19th. And he just got here. So, guys, it wasn't fast. That's not fast to me. No, Cool Beans, you don't apologize. Don't apologize. I'm just making sure it's clear that people understand that Cathy didn't get any special treatment. She didn't get here special. She didn't jump the queue. She had to wait like everyone else did. And look at this sunny attitude. Of course, it's easier for her now because she's sitting in Arizona. If we were still having this conversation, she was back in South Africa, she might not be this rosy. Fair enough, Cathy?
Oh, no, I'm always rosy, eh?
Oh, okay. Well, okay, I misspoke that. All right, so I didn't know that. We've only chatted in chat and by WhatsApp previously, so we haven't really done this. So, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it doesn't help to be Colonel, to be done in the dumps because there's nothing you can do about it.
Right, that's what I'm trying to tell people.
Yeah. And also what I'm saying is from the intake questionnaire from November, and we've been through all the teething from February. We started there February, and then remember in May you phoned us from the airport and you told us and we all filled in all these
statements of interest on the 12th of May from Whitby. Live from Whitby. It's the Colonel at OR Tambo.
Oh, please, next week we're going to go and fill in this form and blah 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 blah, and then wait, and then wait, and then wait, and then and then wait. And then, then we did the last one, which was the 4th of November, which was awesome because it's got you fill in all these forms. Yep. It takes you about 5 hours to fill it in. And you panic while you're doing it because you think you're going to, the electricity is going to go off any minute. Or,
Fair point. I mean, the power might go out. You never know. It's ESCOM.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what was happening. So, you're thinking, okay, let me do it quickly because the electricity shouldn't go off now. Do it. And then you think, okay, it's done. Did I fill it in correctly? Oh, no, I forgot something. because it didn't go through. Because you go back in and just double check and oh no, something else wasn't filled in, so I have to go back and double check and just try to be calm. But and then off it went. And but from what I'm saying, when they gave me the invitation to the
Cultural orientation.
Culture, yes. They phoned me on my birthday, like I said. They emailed and said, "Okay, you've been invited." Do you know that it felt like a whole month that I was waiting? It was actually 2 days.
Yeah.
That.
No,
Yeah.
I get that. I do get that. I do appreciate that. That wait is interminable. I mean, look at the people who are waiting right now. They're frustrated. But,
Exactly.
from the very beginning, I've told people from the very outset, this program isn't for farmers. It isn't for Afrikaners. It isn't for whites. It's for Afrikaners, ethnicity, and racial minorities suffering unjust persecution, which is what I hoped it would be. I said that on the 7th February, and then on the 10th, that's what was announced. And I also told people, because so many people ask this question, you've been here all along, Cathy, you've been listening to this since before the refugee thing. It's not for people who are able to be working. We're not trying to recruit workers. We're not trying to replace the population. This is a humanitarian program to help people who are suffering unjustly come to America. And it's been going on for decades. And it doesn't matter if you're 8 years old or 88 years old. Now, if you're under the age of 18, you're going to have to be on someone else's case because you can't make a case for yourself unless you're an emancipated minor, which that's a pretty rare situation. But basically, it doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter. It also doesn't matter mental health. You can be senile and come over. I mean, look, we let Joe Biden be president. He was senile. Of course, we're going to take refugees. I mean, it doesn't matter. We'll take senility. You can come over if you guys senile. It doesn't matter if you're physically infirm. It doesn't matter if you have cancer. It does matter if you have an active communicable disease like tuberculosis. You will not travel. That's not simply a restriction the U.S. government applies. Airlines won't put you in a plane if they've got you've got tuberculosis because you'll infect the whole plane. So none of that matters. None of that matters. And you listened to what I had to say, and it sounds like it paid off. Cathy, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Did it pay? Did listen, or do you disagree? You didn't listen to me, and you just did what you wanted.
I did listen to you.
Okay.
No, I did listen to you.
And it
every
paid off.
now and again, I would get fed up and say, "Oh, yes, Colonel, really, let me go make myself a cup of coffee, and then you'll get it on." And then you'll start ranting, and I'm thinking, oh no, we got a troll again. And oh gosh.
Yeah, a lot of people get angry, but at least the people who get angry with me, they take their toys and throw out of the pram. But I'm just telling people the truth. Cathy, am I misleading? I mean, this is just the facts, is it not?
Absolutely. Yes, really. Oh, yeah. Colonel, you are a heaven sent. You know that.
Well, not according to some people. According to some people, I'm an evil spirit. I'm not really sure how that works.
Don't worry about what those other people say. They're not important.
Yeah, well, I hope that's a true statement. So, Cathy, I'm going to have to get my crabs soon. Not yet, but my steamed crabs are at 4:00, so I'm going to take off.
So you want to go? Okay.
No, I don't. No, I'm just mentioning this so we get to the point where we're getting closer to the end. But I don't know. We probably shouldn't ask to have your daughter on because she has an ongoing case. That's unfair to her, so we won't do that. But is that the dog or the grandkids floating by?
No. It's just my passport. I wanted to tell you that they stamp it as you're allowed to work on the passport.
Oh, it did say that in your passport.
It says employment authorized.
Brilliant. So should be
in the passport. Yeah.
And you already had a Social Security number, so that should get reactivated. And you should be in good shape. Cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, we've covered a lot of ground. What have we missed? Is there anything we need to miss? I've been taking questions as best I can see them from the chat. But have we missed anything, Cathy, that people need to know about?
What I found interesting was the Mountain Standard Time, Eastern Standard Time, Pacific Standard Time, and Central Standard Time. Said to my daughter yesterday, what? Say that's Standard Mountain. What's Mountain Standard Time? That's where we are.
Well, the thing is where you're at is Arizona. It doesn't change. So you stay the same time all year round, but the time zones change around you. So sometimes you're on Pacific, sometimes you're on Mountain. So you're currently, is it noon there, 12:15?
It's 12:15, yeah.
Right. So you're on Pacific time right now because you're 3 hours behind me. When you shift to Mountain time, it'll be 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
So there's
Okay.
there's Eastern, and that's here. Chicago is Central in Iowa. That's going to be 1 hour behind East Coast. And then Mountain Time will be Colorado and Arizona when it's that time of year. Wyoming, the North and South Dakota, that's Mountain Time because the mountain ranges, the Rocky Mountains. And then Pacific Time is west of that. So you wind up in California, Oregon, and Seattle, and Washington State. So that's how it does. Yeah, it's a big country. We have multiple time zones. Not as big as Russia, but we have a lot of time zones.
Yeah. Ken, I did want to mention something about when people go for their interviews.
Sure. Can I just get you to sit back a little bit because your chin's gone again? There you go.
There we go. Okay, sorry, I was reading. I've got my glasses on this time.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, must I take my glasses off?
No. If you want to leave them on, you want to take them off, that's your call.
Okay. Okay. So when they go for their interview, it's nerve-wracking. Okay. Well, for me, it was very nerve-wracking. But to keep records of your travel, if you left the country and gone to wherever you want, you need to keep a record of everything and everywhere you went, why you went, when you came back, and blah 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 blah. Because I know I lost. Am I boring you, Colonel?
No, I don't get any sleep. You guys didn't see me unless you could see the top of the screen. I was yawning. I'm not bored. I'm just yawning because I'm always tired. I'm never sleeping. But imagine, Cathy, my frustration for my security clearance. I have to list every trip. I've been to 80 countries over the past 40 years, and some I've been to 12, 15, 20 times, and I've got to list all that. So I can understand where you're coming from.
Yes, and I found because I lost my one passport, I couldn't remember the dates when I came to America at that time. But luckily, I had my certificates when I went to the college, so I had those dates, and I went where I was. So that is important to remember. If you can make a list of and have it printed, because you can't put it on your phone because you're not allowed to take your phone into the interview. So if you make a list of all the places you've been to, why you went there, which airport you went into, because they'll check it up while you're sitting there anyway. So, and it goes quicker. Your interview will go quicker and more relaxed because you're a bit more organized. And then I picked up from the people that were there, mainly the men, they needed to have records of their army days, what they did and blah, blah, blah. So if you have a record of that on paper and stuff like that, it does help to lessen the stress because they get called back in, they go in for another interview, and then everybody starts panicking. What did I do? What did I say? And you didn't say anything. It's just that you forget. People forget things.
Yes, I was eating just before we started the interview. I don't recall what I was eating. People do forget things. No, I'm just kidding. I had a broochen with some speck from Italy and some Swiss cheese on it. But it's just kidding. But no, people do forget. I mean, I that's why I have, like, in my mail, I have mail folders. I have every Rugby World Cup. And I have the date that my flight went out, my date that came out, because I don't remember that stuff. I have a list of all my mobile numbers over the past, 40 years. I have a list of my addresses because I've moved like 30 some times in the past, 4 decades. I've got to keep track of that stuff because when I do a clearance, I have to make sure that stuff's correct. Otherwise, come out, well, you said you lived at 398 Gardner Loop. You actually lived at 427 Gardner Loop. What are you hiding? I'm not hiding anything, man. I just made a mistake. Anyway, so yeah, it's good to have the information.
Yeah, then you start panicking, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Cathy, why don't we go ahead and wrap up? I'm going to give you the camera for a couple minutes, and anything you want to share with anybody, message of hope, or to hang in there, or to hang up the towel, or give up, whatever you want to tell people and share. And you can be profuse with your gratitude to President Trump if you want, or whoever you want to thank. If you're angry at anybody, you can tell them to foot sec. But anything you want to share here, it's the floor is yours for the next few minutes, just to share any recommendations, advice, or just about your experience for other folks. Okay.
Thank you. I've written it down. Otherwise, I forget what I'm saying or who I'm talking about, and then I'm going to get into lots of trouble. So I want to say hello to. Yeah, I should have given it to you, Colonel, to read, because it's Michael, Linda, Leon, Victor, Michelle, Tracy, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, Joyce, Grace, Lydia, Corey, Robert, Phoebe, Diane and Gary, Roy and Hanneke, Poppy, Nikki, Rona, and Vanessa. Just say hi to you guys. And, you know, wherever we are, doesn't matter whether we there or here, we'll always be together. It's beautiful being here. It's awesome. It's really another opportunity that this President Trump, awesome. I'm so glad God gave him this gift because, you know, I think he's an awesome guy. Some people might not like him, but then, of course, everybody's got their preference. I mean, you know, but thank you, President Trump, your team, the American taxpayers, for this fantastic offer, for welcoming us, and for our young children and grandchildren to give them a chance in life. I also want to say thank you, Colonel. You are awesome. Thank you so, so much. I'm sorry to cry, but I'm a crybaby like you. That you have guided us. You haven't told us what you come leave your country, you got a horrible country, or you give us the facts. Some of us don't even know half the stuff that you know, and we appreciate that. And thank you for opening our eyes. We really, really appreciate you. Thank you, Colonel.
Well, I had to give an extra moment so I could get myself composed. You got me in tears, Cathy. Oh, come on. Telling people I'm a crybaby. Damn it. Quit letting that secret out. It's supposed to be a secret. Anyway. All right. Wow. Okay. Well, that was very heartfelt. Wow. Woo, wow. Yeah. So I'm going to have to start demanding that's the standard for closing out a stream with yes, I am a hugger too. That's right, Delia. I do hug people. That's going to have to be the standard. Next guest on, if you don't cry like this and are emotional, we're going to cut the cord. We're going to pull the plug on you. Anyway, but seriously, Cathy, thanks for everything. Thanks for the music that's inspiring. Thanks for such an indomitable spirit. Thanks for sharing your experiences and wow. And I don't know if I want to say thanks for banning Margate and all the other people leaving Margate because I haven't been there yet, but I've always heard it's pretty cool. I guess Margate's not quite what it once was, but thank you so much. It's amazing having you on. Let's stay in touch. I mean, we are in touch. You're like on every stream. I really appreciate that, and sending songs all the time. Also, if you want to do a follow-up a few months down the road, and hopefully, fingers crossed, you get some good news in your daughter's case at some point, that would be fantastic. If in fact that does happen, and if it's successful and she gets approved for that, if she'd like to do an interview and talk about that experience, we can do that in the future as well. Okay, because I've not bothered anybody in the asylum case because it's thin ice, and I don't want to deal with people's I don't want to affect their case or situation. But if her case gets approved, and maybe she wants to come on, we can do that, and then maybe the grandkids next time. Okay, because right now everybody thinks that grandkids are just AI; they're not real.
Yeah, no, I actually asked them if they wanted to come and they said, no ways, no. I said, yeah, well, the colonel will ask you these questions. No, they don't want to come on.
Okay, that's fine. It's always the little ones that like to come on. So anyway, all right, Cathy Price, bye donkey for such an incredible experience. I really enjoyed the conversation with you today. I was not ever expecting I would be even remotely disappointed, and I wasn't. It was a wonderful conversation. Thank you, and I wish you the best, and we'll stay in touch.
Thank you, Colonel, and thank you, everybody.
All right, I'm going to put Cathy in the waiting room. So
and don't forget, them is what's the name? The like button.
Oh yeah, you must hit the like button.
And subscribe. Come on, guys.
Thank you for that endorsement, Cathy. All right, cool beans. I'm going to put her in the waiting room so she can drop off.
Colonel.
You're welcome. All right, folks, Cathy Price in Phoenix, Arizona. Wow, I don't know about you, but that was kind of touching for me. Get me a little emotional there. Thank you, Cathy. I really enjoyed that conversation. That was super awesome. I mean, I don't know if that's a cool thing for an over 30 to say super awesome, but I'm going to say it. That was super awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to hit the like button if you don't mind, and feel free to leave a comment behind, okay? I don't usually do a Saturday night owls. I probably won't do one tonight. It might be a surprise one. I don't know. It just depends how I feel. I've got some things to take care of. But in the meantime, we'll see. But tomorrow, we will have we've got a refugee interview, which isn't set, or it is set up already. That's for Iceman. Iceman will be with us at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, 9:30 Central, so 4:30 South Africa time, 9:30, 10:30, 4:30. And that's tomorrow. Iceman will be on with us for an hour. And then it's Lily from her bride tomorrow, Lily van der Plas Beyond. And then we'll have the news. I'm debating about whether to do a refugee cafe clutch because of behavior of some people, but I may or may not do it tomorrow. And then we got lots of stuff coming up Tuesday. We've got Byron Shepard from Morning Shot back for Bride Brews. And then we've got Professor G and I in our first collab. Wednesday, we've got Minri is a repeat. She's back with an update of her case from Eau Claire, Wisconsin, her and her son. And then in May, we've got on the 15th, what is May already? The 15th of May, we have Rob Hersoff back on the program. So get ready for that. I will be out of town from the 8th until the 11th in Florida. If you're in Florida and you would like to see me, I plan to go to Orlando, Tampa, and Jacksonville if it's feasible. But I need to hear from people in those locations. So far, I've only heard from a couple people. You may have written to me. I may have missed it. So I've only come across a couple messages so far. So yeah, and sleep is for the dead. I'll get sleep when the clock runs out. I get a nap here and there, okay? But I'm doing fine. All right, guys, thank you so much. Take care. Be sure to hit the like button, and we'll catch you here maybe later tonight, but certainly tomorrow for lots of broadcasts. Take care, as my part-time gig keeps me fully engaged. I have to run off to the Veterans Organization now before I pick up my steamed crabs. Cheers, everybody. That didn't work well. Supposed to be closing credits.